5 Points Gaming here, and we are gonna do this now. And right now I have a variety of things to cover, but first of all, I want to hit you with a lineup update for my Hut squad, and I also want to hit you with a couple channel announcements, what I'm gonna be doing here for the next couple months when it comes to content. And also, I have some Division 1 gameplay, and we're gonna talk about, well, we'll get into it after this. Let me cover the lineup first, okay? So we got Mike Bossy, Datsuk, and Tarasenko, who is an absolute machine, a scoring machine, Vladimir Tarasenko. If you can afford a Tarasenko, I say buy him. He is incredible when it comes to scoring. Even his base card is unbelievable. I think I have some stats here later. It's about 20 games in, but I think through 33 games, he has 25 points, 18 goals. I mean, he is just a scoring machine. His speed is incredible. Here, actually, on the fourth line, I've changed it. I bought Getzlaf. I bought Duchesne, dropped him down to the fourth line, moved Kreider out, and put Giroux onto the left wing there. Now, on the blue line, I have Fernell Carl, Alex Pietrangelo there, McDonough, Hedman, Doughty, and Niedermeyer. So here's some stats. You know, Zetterberg has been the best player. He's my captain. He gets those first line minutes. He's at the left wing. He's been unbelievable for me. But look at Tarasenko. He had 3 points in his first 5 games, and he has not slowed down. So I have 4 players that I recently added. That's Bossy, Duchesne, Datsuk, and Tarasenko and Sagan. Sagan is also unbelievable, but Tarasenko is so outstanding that he just really deserves that recognition. If you can get a Tarasenko, I'm telling you, put your money on him. Luke Robitaille's been good. Bossy is good but slow, but his finish is incredible around the net. Anytime he has a clapper or a one-timer, it's going in, just like Sagan. Sagan is pretty nasty with the wrist shots as well. So what I want to do after this is I want to win a Division 1 championship, and I've yet to win one. If you look at my record, I'm only about 21 games over 500. I think this is a Division 1 game where I came really close to winning that title, and I didn't. You know, I went 5-1-3. I got 14 points. I came up one win shy of winning the title. And I want you to help me. I want you to give me any suggestions. If you've won a division title or if you see any weaknesses. So I'm going to do an entire game here where, you know, we just look at my gameplay. And this is actually my first game in Division 1. Those stats earlier were from Division 2 when I had clinched and gone on to play in Division 1. There I rattled the post. You know, I think a couple changes I've made, I've gone to the 1-2-2 forecheck. Here I'm running the 2-3. I find that the 1-2-2 is a little bit better suited for what I'm trying to do. You don't get trapped as much. But yeah, whatever you see here in terms of what can I improve. Now, my defensive sliders, I've also changed. Well, I've adjusted a little bit since here. I've gone back to the 1-3-1 neutral zone trap, but you know, some people run the 1-4. I don't know what's better. You know, I think that a lot of wins can be garnered just by how you set up your sliders, just by adjusting to your opponent and seeing what they do. So I'm really looking for answers and help. You know, if you see something in this game where you're like, all right, the dude was doing this, then you need to do this concurrently or differently. One thing, you know, I mean, on defense, you don't need to chase, obviously, but I could always get better on defense. Here on the breakout, you know, I've got my guys set to stay wide, which is fine. You know, I like it because it's predictable, but tell me what you're using. Tell me if I shouldn't let shots happen like that where it's just one-on-one with the goalie. You know, I think Lundqvist sometimes lets in some softies, but at the same time, in order to win, you really should be in the other opponent's end more than they're in yours, and you just really shouldn't be giving shots. But they're looking at me chasing into the corner there. You know, I know I have some bad habits, and I know there's a lot of things that I can work on. But if you have any tips, I would say, all right, look here again, he gets free there after my positioning was pretty bad. Luckily, the computer sort of bails me out. I think I'm fine on the rush. I can often, that was a bad pass. One thing that I hate is I get forced into the wall sometimes when I am trying to come up the ice. And I definitely need to change the path that I take. I'm trying to stay more in the middle here as I come up the ice. But, you know, I think the best players when you see in Division I, they score often, they score around the net, they never miss a breakaway opportunity, they set up breakaways, and they really, it doesn't matter how many you score because they're going to just score 5 or 6 or 7 goals, and that really takes the guesswork out of it. That's where I'd like to be. I would not like to play overtime games. I would not want to. I don't want to play 1-1 games or 3. That's Tarasenko right there. I definitely need to aim better on my one-timers. I think if I could have gotten into the top, there's sometimes where you do everything perfectly and it just does not result in a goal. You know, you do a cross crease and it's a perfect shot and just nothing happens. So on defense, I'm running staggered. I think I forget who I was debating with about whether ice tilt exists, but it was either M-Shutup or I forget his username. I'll find it and edit it into this, I think. But he said run staggered into D1 or you get short side snipe all day, and that's pretty much true. However, the last couple times I've gotten into D1, you know, a lot of people have been adjusting to the staggered, which is fine, but you know, I've got it at normal pressure staggered right now. Tell me what you're running. Are you running, because protect net, I ran staggered and protect net, and it's like two opposite things, and it just doesn't work. You guys end up getting out of position. I see some people run staggered and contain puck, which I just think that sometimes the defensemen aren't aggressive enough. They just won't get up on the defender as they should here. And you know, here again, we're running the breakout. There's no score first period, which is fine. Personally, for me, I would like to win every game 3-0. Like, that to me is the type of hockey that is comfortable for me. Get a nice 2-0 lead where they're never threatening, and then, you know, eventually bury that 3-0. You know, obviously anybody would love to win 6-0, 7-0. That'd be fine. That'd be great. But I want to play defensive hockey, control the game, make sure that they know that, you know, every time that they get the puck, they're not going to do much. Sometimes that happens in games, and sometimes it just doesn't, you know, and it's frustrating when that's your goal and someone drops like 7 goals on you and you're just like, okay. Now scoring, I think I'm going to score every game. If you look at my last 10 games or 20 games, I don't think I've been shut out in a long time. I'm going to average, you know, 2 to 4 goals a game. However, you know, sometimes that's not enough, especially in Division I. You know, everyone can score. Even I can score, and I have a stacked team. And that's what's bothering, is I have a completely stacked roster and still yet to win that D1 title. You know, I've won a lot of games, but I've also lost a lot of games, and I think if there's a way to cut that down. Here he's working the forecheck, and I'm just trying to play zone here, but look at it, and he eventually opens up down, and he gets a nice shot off there, which is pretty threatening from point of view, and then, oh, that should have been goal. And I knew it was coming too. I'm like, all right, this is what this guy likes to do. Eventually, I think he's just in on the forecheck, one against, you know, nobody's down. I always see guys who I play against where they just have 1 or 2 guys just parked in front of the net, and here again, he keeps beating my guy to the corner. I'm like, all right, you guys need to get the puck out of the zone. I don't know how you do that, you know, like it happens for me sometimes, but how do you intentionally get the computer player to just stand in front of the net for you? Because that's a really good way to shut down. I have a lot of trouble when that happens, when somebody just camps out in front of the net. Here he's working behind the net. He's really bothering me, and it's frustrating. And eventually, I think I just touch up there, and yeah, he gets a power play, because, you know, that's another thing that's bothersome, is you're trying to play defense, and then your computer just gives him a nice power play, which is frustrating to say the least. Here again, midway through the game, he's outside on the wing. Again, what are you seeing? What do you look at him? I'm trying to stay in the zone. There's 4 players in the middle. I do force him out of the zone, but he's on the power play. Obviously, you know, the one thing I've thought about is, you know, skill zoning. Should I skill zone? You know, I think everyone says, oh, that's cheesy. That's not the way to play, but who cares, right? It's not my job to think about how somebody else feels about how I play. My job is to win a D1 championship so I can celebrate it with you guys. And if you say, hey, you should always control your forwards down on the D, or, you know what, if you can skill zone and that's effective, but skill zone to me is not something that is unbeatable. And if you watch Bacon Country, He beats the skill zone early and often, and there was another cross crease. You can tell what he's looking for here. He's looking for cross crease. He's looking to cut across the net. He really doesn't do any point shots at all. Maybe I should have adjusted to that, but you know, at this point it's working. It's 0-0. I have not let him score. Why should I change anything until he proves me otherwise, though? I don't know about that mentality. How often do you guys change your sliders in the middle of a game as well? Do you just stick with the same strategy? Like, what is it that keeps you, you know, in games or getting ahead? Because I hate playing from behind. Once you give up that first goal, it really sets the tone. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll score 1 or 2 goals. Like even today, I got up 2-0. I end up losing like 6-4 because all of a sudden breakaways started happening. Here again, now he finally gets that goal when he's been looking for. He cut across the net. Patrick Sharp, who I think is underrated in the game, for him to be an 86 is a load of crap. I think that with Sharp, every time I play against him, some budget squad has him, and he just murderates me because he's an 86 and people sleep on him. They're like, oh, he's just an 86. I'll sell him for, you know, I think he's up to 30K now, but he plays way above his rating. Him, McKinnon, Gaborik, even a base Gaborik is just sorely underrated, and it's really annoying because Sharp is not only tearing up the NHL, he's really tearing up Hut. And here, I got a decent shot there. One thing I am working on is not going out to the points because you give up a lot of breakaways. I think I go on the power play. Oh, another power play for him here. And it's hard to score when you're behind or when you're constantly trying to kill the penalty. And here, I think Carter's going to beat him down the ice. And I don't mind scoring shorthanded. Yeah, but if you look at the difference in these teams, he doesn't have a stacked team. He's got just normal guys. You know, Yager's an 86, Koivu's an 86, Ryan O'Reilly. As long as these are base cards, I didn't go look at his team to see what he had. But I think these are base cards. But look at here with 10 seconds left. Watch what happens. I get it to the machine, Tarasenko, at the red line with 5 seconds left. And he is going to fake out cut across and score. That is a very repeatable goal, and we're tied up. You know, for as bad as I think I've played in this game, I've had no forecheck. I've had nothing but penalties to kill. I'm still at least in it. And remember, this is Division 1, and people say, oh, Division 1's cheesy. It's not real hockey. I'm like, of course it's not. You're a man controlling a tiny man with your thumbs. It's never going to be realistic. It's never going to be an actual reflection of hockey. It's going to be whatever the flaws in the game that the best players can create. There, I'm learning to juke. I think I could have some more net drive, more finish here. But look at all his guys are down low, protecting the net. And even when I go out to the points, they're right on me. And you know, it's like he's everywhere on defense. I had a lot of trouble establishing the forecheck, and he's got an average squad too. So I feel like he's pushing the forecheck, and I am not. And it feels, look here, across the ice, cross crease. I don't know what my defender was doing there. That's the other thing that's really frustrating. You can't do everything. You know, if you cover the guy out there on the wing, your defender's got to defend right there. Like, he has got to step up and cut that cross crease pass. And I'm on the power play too. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, look to stop. That's your one job. We are outnumbering him. There shouldn't be any guesswork. But that's on the computer AI. Look, we give up a free shot right in front of the net to Ryan O'Reilly here. And what are the things that you do on the breakout to prevent someone? And there's Tarasenko. Yes, we finally get a power play goal to tie it up. That was a nice juke right there. But, you know, it's my opportunities to score have been few and far between. He's been the better player in this game. And for me to be in at 2-2 and try to garner a point out of this situation, I feel like I'm doing all right, but it could be worse. There he finally commits a penalty. And this is where we need to capitalize. McDonough circles back, has a shot from the slot. That rhymes, whatever. Datsuk has been amazing, gets the puck there. And, you know, we're about 13 minutes in, and I really needed to take advantage of this. And they're the jukes which I've been working on, which is an easy move to do. I might do a video just on that juke. But here, you know, I feel like that that sort of cheesy wrister from there takes a lot of, I mean, it takes some skill, it takes practice to do it, but it takes a lot of skill out of the game because, you know, all you have to do is get open into that space and just shoot it in the top corner. But you know what? You have to adapt to what your opponent's doing. So I got tired of that. People kept doing it to me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn how to stop it. You know where they're going with the puck. Those 2 hash marks. That's all you have to do is position your guy. But it does open up a bunch of, look, see, that's where I'm going with Bossy right there. So I'm just trailing you right there. Eventually, he does get around me, but oh, he's hit off the post right there. Scary. Here he was gonna cross crease it there, but Lundqvist covers my butt. And again, now he's pushing the forecheck. And look at the guys clearing out. Why are they not down by the net and helping protect? But to me, sometimes, you know, when you hit protect the net, it also just opens up a lot of other bad things. You know, there doesn't seem to be a perfect defense, but there also seems to be some sliders and settings that seem to create problems. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, what do you think are the ones that create the most problems for you when you're trying to defend somebody that, you know, is really pushing the forecheck down at the bottom, or is just D1 in general? Because, you know, to win a D1 championship, you have to win 80% of your games. You got to go 8-2, or I think 7-0 and 3 to win a D1. That means you basically can't lose in D1. The thing is, you lose 2 games to start D1, and you're done. You're finished. Or you could win. Yes, you could win 8 in a row. But if you're losing 2 games to start a campaign in D1, you're already in the hole, and it's pretty unlikely that you're going to win 8 in a row. And that's just cold. That's why Kreider is not on the lineup anymore, because I replaced him with Giroux because his finish just wasn't there. Now, Kreider was incredible during his run. He scored a lot of goals. I think he was my number 2 goal scorer. But in D1, you need a lot. You need finish. You get less opportunities, I think, to score. But well, for me, I get less opportunities because I suck. But there he was looking for the cross crease again. You know, it was open. It was open. It's frustrating sometimes when you look for an open guy and the guy passes it into the middle of nowhere or passes it at nobody, period. Which is frustrating. So last minute to go. You know, his best player is Max Pacioretty. I looked at my lineup again. I went back and looked at, all right, what lineup did I use to get into Division 1? And it was all 86s and 87s. So it's possible. Here we're going to get a power play, I believe. Or is it? Yes. And which is great because it's going to overlap into overtime. I'm going to have 4-on-3. But, you know, he almost puts it in his own net. But I got into Division 1 very easily, but the problem is I haven't won a championship. In fact, I've been relegated several times. I've been relegated all the way down to Division 3. I'm not too ashamed to admit that. There we stop him on the, now we're on 4-on-4. So the power play opportunity completely wasted there. But yeah, you know, I got sent down to Division 3, which I went 8-0 in Division 3 and got right back into Division 2, where I went, you know, 7-2. So Division 3, Division 2 to me is not a problem. It's once I get back into Division 1, you know, there's just so much pressure to win. I think it's just so hard to win. Why didn't I pass that? I had the guy wide open in the slot. I should have gone for the 1T there to finish the game. But this ends up costing me big time because points are so important in Division 1, and we're gonna at least garner a point in a game where I feel like I should have been losing. But I did get 2 goals out of Senko here in the overtime. You know, I don't know what anybody's strategy in the overtime is, you know, whether you have a specific game plan. But there's Zetterberg loses a stick, and now he's behind the play. Now he's on the power play, and here comes, he gets the slot shot right in front of Lundqvist. Just happened to miss it. And we're on the breakout. Now we're back to even in the 4-on-4. And Zetterberg is looking up the ice. See here, I'm caught on the outside. I didn't really have a choice. I didn't want to be there. I waited too long to get that pass off. And the problem I have with the 3v3 is that you get 3 forwards out there. Or 1 forward, 2 defenders. Which when it should be 2 forwards, 1 defender. And here, I think he comes down with O'Reilly or Saad. And how does he put this in? So after all that effort, we don't even get to the shootout. He scores what I think is a cheap goal, but you know, whatever, it went in. I should have been more aggressive on the forecheck. Again, put in the comments whatever you think is the best way to win a D1 championship if you've won one, because we're going to win this together. You guys are going to help me, and that's what I want really bad. I want nothing more to show you me winning a D1 championship and having you guys help me do it. So thanks for watching this vid. I know it's a long one. 5 points. I'm out.